For the love of God, please don't let me get interrupted. Just let me get this video done. Please let me get this video done. Okay, I've been interrupted, walked on, prolonged. I wanted to do this video on Friday. Thought I had the opportunity Friday because I knew Saturday I was going to be busy. Turns out that Saturday business built into Friday, so I had to go and help out with my family. My sister and her husband is moving, so I had to go to their house, my niece's house, which they're currently at, and I had to go back to the house and help them stay finish moving. So after all that, I didn't really get much time with Jump Force, but I did get the game day one. I did get this game day one. Just didn't have enough time to play it. All in all, I only had 17 minutes with this game. 17 freaking minutes in a day. I had more stuff to do. So without further ado, let's get this video started. I'm gonna go straight to facts. Let's start. I'm not gonna start with you in the beginning of the game because I want to tell you my whole experience, but every time I start to tell you my whole experience, I get either interrupted, called, or something. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into my experience with Jump Force. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the performance of the game. First and foremost, if I can make it through that part without getting interrupted, then I'll talk about the beginning of the game for us. So the first thing you probably want to know how this game runs. Okay, so I tested this game out in handheld mode and docked mode. Okay, so docked mode, the game runs alright. It doesn't hit 30 frames per second, at least unless I'm missing something. It doesn't hit 30 frames per second, that's what I can tell. But the most that you're going to get up to is either 28 or 29 frames. Now, I can tell you what's causing this problem with the game, and it's not the particle effects, because with some real Unreal Engine games, they can't get the game to render right. Some of these the particle effects and stuff like that, they'll haze it out and it'll look pixelated sometimes. So that's not the problem. The problem is the game's at 1080p. I kid you not, the game is at 1080p. It's a fuzzy 1080p mess, and because of that, the game doesn't look as crisp on TV. Some textures does look muddy, some textures doesn't look right. I do like so I do like this part about this though. It takes away some of the realism from these characters. They just look like high quality action figures fighting. That's what it looked like. So yeah, game runs at 1080p, mostly 30 frames per second. Now, when it comes to handheld mode, of course, it's 720p, but the game runs significantly better. It actually hits 30 frames per second on the handheld mode. I was like, oh wow. So something was telling me, try this game in handheld mode the whole time. And when I played in handheld mode, I was shocked. The game ran smoother. Even the game looked crisper on the handheld mode. So yeah, this game is running so on TV it's 1080p, hitting quote unquote mostly 30 frames per second, while 720p 30 frames per second. Now this does make sense for Nintendo Switch because the Nintendo Switch is closer to Xbox One hardware. And when I mean Xbox One, I'm not talking about Xbox One S or Xbox One X. I'm talking about Xbox One original version. So I think this game would have benefited if it was at 900p or 720p. I think this game would have benefited more if it was at 720p or 900p. 1080p for this game on the Switch is not feasible. It's actually slowing the game down. Now, with this performance in mind, the gameplay, it does mimic what's on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Of course, it's Jump Force, but it at least does capture the feel of the game. It's not like a Sonic Forces situation where the game is at 30, but the gameplay feels at 30 frames per second. Not 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second. The gameplay is literally, the game is at 900p 30. The gameplay feels like it's at 60. That's how it feels with Sonic Forces. But Jump Force, it is mostly 30 frames per second. But the gameplay feels 30 frames per second. But on handheld, it's literally 30 frames per second, 720p. And I think that's the best way to experience this game, is at 720p. Now, obviously, I gotta play more with this game. 17 minutes barely counts as a experience. So yeah, but if you want my honest opinion with this game, and I made it without being interrupted, so I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Then I'm gonna go into my actual experience with the game. If you want me to be honest with you, Jump Force could have stayed off the Switch. I'm kidding you. This game could have stayed off the Switch. Like, honestly. But you know what would have been a better option? If you was going to do a Shonen Jump based game, I would have highly recommended that J-Stars would have been a better fit for the Nintendo Switch. Sound off in the comments all you want. Jump Force for Nintendo Switch. It's a decent port. It's a decent port of the game. You know, for the most part, even in the lobby, the game runs okay. That part runs at 30 frames per second in dock mode. I won't lie there. That game does run. But even though there, you know, it's a decent port of the game. You know, I'm glad this game is out so we can at least experience how Jump Force would have ran on the Switch. But it's a decent port, you know, everything. But I honestly think that this would have been the better game to port over to the Nintendo Switch. Either that or Tekken or SoCal or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The list goes on. I digress. But yeah, that's how I feel about the game. That's how I feel about the game. Now, my overall experience, well, it was a slow start because in the beginning, I had to go through that beginning cutscene. Then I was forced into a create a character mode. Then I was forced into a tutorial. Then I was forced to go talk to Goku, Luffy, and Naruto to choose my team. And then I was forced into the other half of the tutorial mode. And then I finally got to play an offline match with the CPU. I honestly do not like the lobby menu, the lobby-based menus like Dragon Ball Xenoverse or, you know, Dragon Ball Fighters or even what's that game? Man, I think it's Grand Blue Versus. I don't like the menu system like that. I kind of like to jump into my my action as soon as I'd rather go through a menu than go through a lobby system just to play a match, you know. So yeah, if you actually want to know how the controls are, play Xenoverse 2. All right, if you have Xenoverse 2 on the Nintendo Switch, play that game, and basically you got Jump Force. It's just a little bit more to it. Now you got the character switching out, so you got so if I can explain the button setup right here for a minute, you got your attack button right here. What wrong setup? Wrong. Forget I said that. Okay, you got your attack button right here, jump button right here, grab, and I think heavy hits that you can either charge up and knock them back. You know. So I think they call it force hit, something like that. Then up top, of course I ain't gotta explain this to you. You don't know what this does, then you do not need a Nintendo Switch, okay? So if I can get this combination right, this is how you switch characters. ZL, this is how you, hold on, I'm trying to get this right, man. Come on, give me a minute. Okay, this is how you switch characters. This is how you use your mobility. So you got like if you're far away from an opponent, you can zip across, and you can use this. Or if you're in a heat of a combo, you can escape by hitting this. And you do have a mobility gauge, so do not waste that. And it does autofill. So okay, so this is how you choose like your special moves, like your Kami Highs, your Shingan. Oh man, I know I'm saying some of this stuff wrong from Naruto. I did not pay attention enough. Okay, so this is how you use all that, like even your Star Knuckles from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. This is how you choose all your special moves. All right, it's not like combo based. So this is how you choose it. So this is how you bring up the menu that's going to be on the side. Then all you gotta do is hit either one of these buttons to choose your moves, and then this is your guard. Also, this is how you charge up for your special moves. You get 5 bars, and you get and all you gotta do is hold this down, and stand in place. And this is your guard button. This is your guard button right here. So yeah, I think I just explained the whole control setup for this game. However, the only way you're gonna actually get to see how this game actually runs is how I'm talking about. If God, geez. Alright, I'm not recording this video no more. I'm not going to record it over. I'm just going to have to make an awkward cut-in with this video to finish what I had to say. So where I was cutting in at, like, I was just now getting it off. I was just about to say I could not show you what I was just about to show you. Tell you what I can't show you unless I video on camera. So yeah, Jump Force for Nintendo Switch is a good port. I suggest that you, if you're gonna get Jump Force for the Switch, play it in handheld mode. That's why most of y'all are gonna play it anyway, because most of y'all probably bought the Switch for handheld mode stuff. So yeah, so if you have a Switch Lite, perfect game for you. I have not tried the 2v2s or 3v3 stuff. Don't have people who plays Nintendo Switch like that, so I'm not gonna even try that bag of worms. So yeah, if you're getting Jump Force for the Nintendo Switch, I'm not gonna try to sway you on getting Jump Force for the Nintendo Switch. Alright? I'm not going to try to sway you from getting Jump Force for the Nintendo Switch. That's surely your decision. That's your decision and only your decision. Don't let my opinion sway you from But how I really feel about the game is I truly am mixed on the game, to be honest with you. Maybe because I haven't played enough. I'm having fun, then the visuals throw me off. Then some of the mechanics throw me off. Then the character selection throw me off. But I'm still having fun. I like some of the graphics. I like how it takes away detail from these characters. It's a mixed bag, alright? You hear how mixed I sound about this game. So yeah, with Jump Force, yeah. So go ahead and pick up Jump Force. Try it out for yourself. I'm not gonna be like all these other YouTubers who just says don't pick up the game. I'm not gonna be like, do pick up the game, because you don't know how you're gonna feel about it. How am I supposed to know how you're gonna feel about it? Only way I can tell you is to say play it yourself. Alright? I'm just gonna tell you just to play it yourself. And I'm gonna tell you to enjoy yourself. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. Enjoy yourself. If you do, great. If you don't, well, there's your answer. I can't tell you how you're supposed to feel about this game. Jump Force, it's lucky that we even got this game on the Switch. Now, I know a lot of people are telling us, don't buy this game because it's not as good. Don't say nothing about this game. Don't do this and don't do that. No. But remember here, we wouldn't have gotten this. We gotten this because we bought up everything else from Bandai Namco. So maybe this will lead to more ports. Personally, I'm praying for Soul Cal to get over here, Soul Cal 6 or Tekken 7, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, think about done with this video. This your boy Kahuna Silver signing out. And just for reference sake, again, if y'all don't want to pick up Jump Force, pick up Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. That's the closest experience that you're actually going to get from Jump Force. Only thing you'll be missing is the character swapping out. That's about it. It's the closest thing to Jump Force that I can think of right now, unless I'm missing something. But if you don't want to pick up Jump Force, hey, if you got PS4, I don't know if this is on Xbox or not, but if you got PS4, good game to play. But anywho, I'm mixed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm mixed on this. It's your boy Kahuna Silver signing out. And again, I'm sorry that I had to cut the video because I got interrupted because my sister walked literally through my room and interrupted me. So yeah, it's your boy Kahuna Silver signing out. Deuces.